Hello, hello, everybody. It is time for the penultimate round of Misfits Racing League Season 4 action. My name is Strifium, and joining me all the way from Spain for this Brazilian Grand Prix, it's Alex Bitto. How you doing for Tier 3 today, Alex?
Hello, Strev. I'm very, very excited. This is one of the best tracks of the calendar for me, and I really, really enjoy this track. Of course, the short run. You always know this track, and I think we'll have amazing racing here today.
I agree with you 100%. The penultimate round, Brazil, Sao Paulo, of course, 4.3K, 15 turns through this very, very quick circuit. Of course, a lot of elevation change, especially through Sector 2 and then up the hill and then back down through it into Sector 1. It is a very fun circuit to drive, a very fast circuit to drive, and we'll just have to see who gets the best of the campaign around here today for, of course, the penultimate round. It's the 21st round. Next week, we head through to the finale in Abu Dhabi. What a real campaign of racing we've seen here this season. We've had all these rounds all the way from Australia in round 1, and Retanius, of course, securing that Tier 3 championship here so far already. However, that does not leave us without any action to see here in the next 2 rounds. I am very excited. Tons of intensity ramping up as we come to the finale for those drivers looking to secure themselves the bragging rights in the history books for MRL Season 4. And it's been a very tight championship throughout this campaign, despite Retanius taking that championship already, and we'll take a look at those standings in just a moment, but not before we give a great shout out to our fantastic partners, Next Level Racing. And of course, things a little bit different this time, talking about the shout out for Next Level Racing. We have a giveaway going on right now. Exclamation giveaway in the chat. Of course, there will be a timer coming up throughout the chat over the course of the stream where you can jump in to our Gleam.io giveaway and win yourself, well, you could just win an F-GT light racing cockpit. And of course, with that being said, now it is time to get into business for this Tier 3 division. Rutanius, as said, has already secured that championship. However, it is Yasko there in second position with Maka rounding out the top 3. And you can see Maka there has back row, not too far from him, enough to take that third slot. And you can see Dunk on You, Daniel Monaf, Dirk, everybody very tight in the standings, Grenade as well. And things will just develop through the next 2 rounds here. And as we look at the constructors now, we have Red Bull, Racing Point, and Haas, the top 3 coming through into the penultimate round. And with that being said, Alex, we're just about ready to go racing here, but I'm very much looking forward to this one. And I'd also absolutely love to see a roll of the dice on weather. I want to see some rain tonight.
I really don't know if this track needs that. Of course, we have seen a lot of rain here in Brazil. Very common to see those monzones there. A lot of rain, with the full wet compound even. And of course, the rain can go really, really well with the conditions. But still, I don't think we need it. I think it's a perfect track. Not even on dries, we can see a lot of side-by-side racing. And that sector 2 is just amazing. I think. Well, I mean, I think you can go side by side in actually every corner of this track.
Well, my mind will go back to a race where I think you're familiar here in the Endurance Series last season. What a drive it was in Brazil. A lot of wheel-to-wheel action around here. I remember a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing in that exchange, especially among the top 4, and we'll have to see what we get at the front end of this grid today as we enter into 18 minutes, the qualifying session ahead of 50% distance running. Of course, full damage, strict corner cutting in effect, safety cars in the whole 9 yards as usual in the MRL. If you've been tuning in with us for the whole season, well, you know how it goes.
Yeah, that endurance race, actually amazing. I think it was almost 20 laps there around that with Luxtra, Yoda, and Freeware, some high tier drivers. They're battling really, really close. Ooh, almost raining. Not raining, it seems, today on qualifying strip.
Sigh of relief, I imagine, for a lot of the drivers now as they come into the session for qualifying. We'll get a full weather report now, and as the lovely gentlemen in the chat have already come through to say, dry, Alex, and we'll be seeing what you wanted after all, a dry campaign of pure intensity. We look at the drivers on this timing tower. Why don't you take us through who we're going to see on the grid today?
Yeah, I think today we will have full reserves. Yeah, starting there in the beginning, of course, Damon, full-time driver from McLaren, Psycho as well, late, a driver that was always there, but at the full time, I think from Japan onwards. Duncan Yu as well, Vincent, very, very fast, and I think probably he can take pole position today. Lovell as well there. Linus, one of the first reserve we see there on the grid. Alberto Perez, Alex Budd, Aaron Moen, Rossini's back row, Fubar. We haven't heard his name for a long time straight, but
It's
he
funny. I
has
spoke
been
to him
always
last
here.
night. I spoke to him
He's been
last night, and he's an, as we say, an original, I'd say at this point, of the MRL, and Tier 1 driver formerly, as well as you've raced him on grid. It's good to see him back. We'll see how he goes through Interlagos.
as well, Dark Chocolate, 4-door sedan Maca, JA Games there as reserve capacities, the seat of Cactus, Greenit Goran, Coffee Sipper, and Jasko, who is right now, I think, on the second spot of that championship.
That's
Battle, well,
right.
not battle, but of course, right now as
Runner
the
up.
second driver. Yeah, the runner-up.
First driver that will be coming through here is going to be the Alfa Romeo. As mentioned, 19th position on the timing tower presently on the soft compound tires. It will be Coffee Sipper taking us through a lap, Alex.
It's a beautiful lap. You have to go really, really on the entry really wide, then to cut now on turn 1 on the first S of that SS of Senna, as they're called now on turn 3, going on the opposite straight, the Reta Oposta. On Portuguese, of course, now with DRS open, finishing sector 1, going to turn 4, 4th gear, 5th gear there, trying to take, of course, the overrun, the runoff area, then of the exit of 4, going into 5, now 6 and 7, almost flat out. You have to lift a little bit because the rear end can really step down there on the corner. Now turn 8, going down into turn 9, the hairpin here, really difficult on throttle. You can see there the rear just doesn't want to stick there. Now braking for turn 11, as well, another difficult traction zone, now flat out to the last braking point of this track, Gankao. You're of course setting purple sectors right now, the reserve driver for Alfa Romeo, now opening the DRS for the back, well, for the main straight actually, turn 15, and will be a 7.6 actually for Coffee Sipper as the first lap of this afternoon.
His teammate jumping him, a 107.393 from Lavelle Grenade in the Ferrari. Coming through a 107.2. I was looking on there for a moment with Aero flipping onto the Mercedes. He had an issue coming out of turn 1, putting him off left side. And he had to let a whole whack of drivers through. Maca now comes in with a 107.161, the Haas. Variety of times starting to come through. A few drivers on mediums. Dunk on You has just begun a run on the medium compound tires. Back row is on the move as well. Vincent Nyquist crosses the line third quickest here. JA Games here in a reserve capacity in the Mercedes, a 107.784 four-door sedan, crosses 10th quickest. It's a 108.5.
A lot of traffic you can see there in sector 3, yellow flags arrow, trying to get away there, trying to not disturb their two drivers, but I think they are on e-lap, so it doesn't matter right now. Arrow, I don't know if he'll try another one. It seems like he's going slow, but we'll see if he activates the ERS. I think he has fuel enough to do one more, we'll see, but right now I think Rodsenius as well didn't finish the lap and will try to do another one.
I don't know if he's trying to do another one or if he's trying to assist Dirk Chocolate with a mega toe here coming out of the final turns of this circuit. Look at this racing point. This is team tactics if I've ever seen it. He is positioning this car perfectly to come into that pit lane and give Dirk Chocolate a proper toe here across the line. Where is it going to land him? It hasn't been the best for him on this run overall. It was an 0.8388 banker.
It wasn't the best lap actually. Still there. Let's have the top 10 for the McLarens. Damon Inviting and Duncan Yu on the mediums, jumping into P11 with a 179, which very, very good lap time. We'll see who's there as well trying to improve, and I think only Fubar and Jasko, who's on the last corner, and well, he will have the slipstream of his teammate as well as Dirk had, but not with his teammate. So Jasko now will be finishing this lap, and he will be jumping, of course, there. It will be to P7, 7.6 with the mediums just ahead of his teammate.
A nice run from the Red Bull here. The sister car now, the AlphaTauri. Fubar, as mentioned, is on the run to the line. What's it going to be out of him? His first lap in quite some time. Well, it's a 107.699. Gets himself in front of his teammate this evening, Psycho. Very nice run for his first crack at it. Fubar, a driver we've historically seen pull off one-shot qualifying. I'm happy to see him get a lap in here with 12 minutes remaining on the clock.
Damon now, I don't know what he's trying to do. Probably, I don't know if race pace or something, but he's been there, I think, with those laps, at least a couple of laps there on those tires and invalidating both, at least. I don't know if he will try another one, but it doesn't seem like he has fuel enough to do one more. 12 minutes to go on this qualifying. And still, I don't know if the track is cold, but I expected probably better time. I don't know, 7.1, still not on the sixes, but I think we can go there.
Linus in the Haas. He will be looking for an improvement here as he returns to the Tier 3 grid, formerly a Ferrari full-time driver. He's back here in a reserve capacity. He goes 8th quickest to 7.676 was the best time out of him thus far. He's done 3 laps on that compound of tires.
Yeah, 3 laps. It's not the best for the tires, but it's still the track where the wear is not that high. Actually, I think soft mediums will be the most common strategy here. Probably 16 laps on the soft, and the others to complete the 36 laps here on Sao Paulo to of course all the race. But 3 laps, probably around 8% of wear on those softs. It's not ideal, but it's not that bad. It's not hungry, let's say.
Dunk on you.
Right now flying.
Yeah, and I was just going to mention Dunk on you. With a major chunk of wing damage, he'll be on his way into the pit lane to get that switched over. He's on the he's on the medium compound tires. He set multiple laps on them. Grenade, as mentioned, he is flying up the hill.
Arrow as well ahead of him. I think it's just the car who's ahead right now on the hairpin of turn 9. He hasn't said a lot yet. We have Damon, Arrow, Routines without not doing that. But I think they will have, well, at least Damon and Arrow. We know Routinius on the last GP tried to do the last 2 first challenge. Of course, I think he failed to do that, but still, it was a very good performance. I think he finished on P3. And right now, Arrow on the last corner, opening DRS in a few moments. There we go. Holding there the inside line. You really need to do that to gain some extra milliseconds. And well, he will be jumping into P12 just ahead of his teammate for today's race games. And now, Red Goran improving 1/10 more, I think. That's provisional pole position, but it's still on the 7s.
Yeah, it's 7.061. He's a dead 10th in front of Maka right now. And we'll see what Mac is able to do. He is also flying. He's already improving as we come through Sector 2.
A lot of drivers are not flying as well. Vincent, who is just finishing the lap, he's improving almost 3/10. So probably that can be the first time they're under the 7s. We'll see what the Williams driver can do. It's 7.0 still, but it's just ahead of Brunette Goran. We'll see Maka right now as well on the last corners up the hill, opening DRS as well. The Haas driver, side to the left. It will be a 6.9, and there we go.
That's a 106.951 out of Maka there. A very solid run. Psycho comes through 4th quickest here. Lavelle in the Alfa Romeo. He is on an outlap. Alberto Perez has had an issue in the Renault on his current run. He's just coming through into, well, one of the penultimate turns here as Dirk Chocolate, I do believe, is flying by him. Let's see what Dirk's able to do.
I think he had a mistake on traction, but we'll see Dirk.
There we go, Dirk getting another time, and it's a 107.794. Dirk not having the best runs I think he wanted to have around here. However, he is within a second of the pole sitter. This grid has shown us all season long it's incredibly tight. The gap right now down to 16th position is 1.002.
Global right now P5 is trying to fly as well as Rutinius will be starting a lap on the mediums. So we'll see what he can do right now. Lobel, as we said, finishing sector 2 right now on turn 11. Very difficult on traction on 4th gear, actually. I don't know if he's carrying that much speed though, but still keeping it valid. Now entering sector 3, I think he lost time there on that sector 2 because he was improving almost 1/10.5 exiting sector 1. So right now we will see on the main straight opening the DRS. Now side to the left he should go, and there we go, he's there. Now we'll be crossing the line. I don't know if he will be improving. Yes, and it's enough to gain 1 place against Psycho, so it's P4 for him.
Very good time there from the Alfa Romeo. We have a yellow flag popping up through 2 and 3 at the split.
Damon
sure.
invalidate again.
Well, that's bad luck for the McLaren driver here. 7 minutes remaining in the session, however. Britannius is on some kind of lap, it would seem. Dropped it. He could just be going out for a cruise.
Back row. Setting provisional pole right now, improving a little bit more. We're going there inside there, the 6.9 right now for back row as Linus just flies by right now, trying to improve his lap as well. The reserve has driver, improving 3 tenths in the first sector.
Now Linus doing everything he can to really muscle this car around sector 2. He is improving by nearly 2 tenths. This is good enough to jump him a couple positions here. If he's able to find more in sector 3, of course, that would be ideal. DRS now wide open on the rear wing, going to keep it tight to the line on the left. How's it going to go for him? Yes, he finds nearly 2 tenths. He jumps Coffee Sipper into 8th position. 6 minutes remaining on our clock. J.A. Games is on the run coming out of the Senna S. He's going to go down the DRS straight and open that rear wing into turn 4.
Jasko as well doing sector 2 on purple. He's improving, I think, more than 3 tenths there, and now on the line we'll see Jasko opening the DRS on that Red Bull 6.9, and it's a 1-2 for Red Bull.
Very nice run out of him. Coffee Sipper, he's on the run into turn 4 as well. We have a variety of drivers on laps. Fubar, the German driver in the AlphaTauri this evening, has just begun. Rutanius comes through on the mediums, a 107.092, and he has put himself into the top 10 of this grid in qualifying, Alex. We weren't sure if he was going to come through and set a run, but here he has.
And now, just behind him, Alberto Perez trying to get a little bit of slipstream there out of the championship winner. And right now, Alberto starting sector, so a lot of traffic you can see there just ahead of him. Fubar trying to not
Well, he
beat
just
the
started.
lap.
He might have had an issue getting his lap going. Come back to Coffee Sipper now. He crosses with a huge improvement, nearly half a second. It was 4.24 of a second there, and he is going to come through into 7th ahead of his teammate. Yeah,
and Alberto as well, improving a lot out of that sector too. Probably can go there with Coffee Sipper alongside him. We'll see now opening the DRS going to the line. It's a 7.1. Yeah, he jumps Coffee Sipper indeed. It's a P7 for him.
now this grid is really tightening up at the front end of things, from first all the way to, well, I say the front end of things, but the separation to 11th position is half a second right now in this Tier 3 division in Brazil, and this is going to present us with a very, very intense race around a circuit that can find, I think, some difficulty in overtaking through Sector 2. Of course, things can get congested if the grid's in a full-blown train and dirt chocolate right now. Here's a driver who will be looking to get himself further along, closer to the front of this train in the McLaren. DRS now, again, wide open at the rear wing, tight to the inside line. The McLaren driver to the line. What's it going to be? It's 11th, a 0.399 improvements, 4 tenths, and he's going to get himself into a fairly decent qualifying position. That is, well, second pole position, as some call it.
Mini
pole.
Yeah, I think Spaniards in real life are used to that with Alonso. But right now, I think Fubar invalidated his run on the S's of Senna. And I think I really don't remember. I think it was Vincent improving, and it's only 2,000 behind Jasko. 3 minutes left right now. We'll see who can be ahead. Right now it's very, very tight. Both Red Bulls are ahead. And Vincent, of course, not that far away.
Was checking in to see if Moen was going to set a run here. He was not. However, now a driver everybody has been waiting to see get themselves into, okay, a solid qualifying position here. Damon, he's the only driver on this grid, no time set. He's on the medium compound tires, and now he will come up the hill.
the hairpin there. I think was Rutinius who's trying to not serve for Dorsadan as well. Not that big traffic. We have a yellow flag, I think, of Sector 1 probably. I think it was Psycho. Probably just the blue flags.
Alright, Damon now. There we go. 107.488. Very, very good run there for Damon to finally get himself in. However, this isn't necessarily good in the fact that he's right behind his teammate. And we've already seen throughout racing in this season what can happen when you're too tight to your teammate. Neon and Ace can tell you firsthand at the McLaren squad. My mind goes back to a couple of races. Damon with an issue there, just maybe getting out of the way of a flyer. Four-door sedan is on the move, so very good for Damon to jump out of Dodge there.
Yeah, so a retirement there on, I don't know, but there was yellow flags there on turn 11, and now everyone trying to improve. We're in the last minute. Jasko invalidated his run, so he will be turning off the ERS and trying to do another one on the last minute. We'll see now because Mac, I think, is trying to improve as well on Sector 1, and a lot of drivers, Green Gordon as well, he has invalidated. We'll try to do the same as Jasko there on the last run. A lot of drivers, Coffee Sipper as well, they're flying.
Four-door comes through, he improves, but it's not enough to get himself out of the 20th position he finds himself in. We'll have to see how he does through this grid. Oh, Alex Budd with a snap there. Four-door slows things down, and Alex Budd off wide coming out of turn 1.
That's very, very unfortunately. I don't know if he has more time to complete the last run, still in P18. I don't think he has time to improve right now. J Games flying. I think Coffee Sipper will be crossing the line right now. We'll see. Oh, no, he has aborted his lap. And Regina has a 5-place grid penalty for collision. Yeah, he's out as well. I think he has crashed with Alex Budd.
I'm not entirely sure what's gone on there, but I can tell you JA Games has come through. 107.487 for him. Things very tight in things are very tight in this entire grid. Entirety of the grid separated by a second.
Back row right now flying as well. He's not improving
Vincent.
out of Sector 1. Ooh.
Excuse me. Vincent has come through in the Williams for a provisional pole position. We'll see if back row, as you've mentioned, on a flyer can do anything about this. However, not improving through out of Sector 2 at the moment.
It doesn't seem he's not improving, but we'll see if he has time on Sector 3 to gain. He's not opening the DRS and he's going to the pit, so he will be aborting that one. And they had the 1-2 Red Bull, and now, well, they will be on second row. And I don't think that was the plan for them. They really wanted that 1-2, of course, every team wants that. But it was not, well, they were not able to do that, as Vincent and Maka just, well, robbed them, let's say. And Linus right now going to the pits because he will be aborting his run as well. Rutenius, I think, the same thing. And I think this is the qualifying for today.
I think this is our final result here, as you said, yes. Vincent Nyquist, Maka, back row, the top 3. We're going to go through the grid in just a moment. And of course on the formation lap. What a race this is going to shape up to be. We have a very, very tight margin of separation all throughout the grid from first all the way down to, well, 19th position. It is a 1.1 four-door there, just outside by half a second on that. But it is extremely tight throughout this grid, and this grid can present very, very intense racing as we've seen in MRL previously. Very excited, Alex. Very excited.
Yeah, I think this race can, well, just the start, the first laps there with, of course, the traffic before the RS, everything. I think can really be really, really intense today, and well, very, very tight grid as we said before as well. But even though on a really short track, Vincent getting two turns there out of Maka, I think he's really having a point to prove there with his skill level. He's a really, really young driver and a really, really good driver, as we can see there on pole position for today's race.
Well, Vincent Maka back row, the top 3 right now. Rutenius on the mediums qualified 6th. He's taken a 5-place grid penalty. We'll go on through the rest of this grid, of course, on the formation lap. My name's Triffy. I'm here from Canada. Joining me is Mr. Alex Bido all the way from Spain. And if you haven't heard, we have a great giveaway going on, exclamation giveaway, with our great partners Next Level Racing. You can get entered. It's free to participate. And you can win yourself a racing cockpit from Next Level Racing, the NLRF-GT Lite. Going to be a very, very good bit of kit to add to your racing arsenal. And just a massive shout out to everybody viewing along on the stream. And of course, Matt, Freeware JA Games, thank you so much for the resubs today. Of course, Matt coming through just now, and greatly appreciate your support of the community and the races here we do on Twitch. So much everybody hanging out.
Now 30 seconds to start that formation lap. Global having some connection issues, it seems.
That's what you hate to see. You don't like to see those connection issues come through in the lead to the formation, because it can definitely create some tricky moments, to say the least. Lavelle, 8th position on this grid. We'll have to see how he's able to get back into control of his car now. Of course, we look at the grid, the weather. We were told it's going to be dry. It is dry, and we have 20 drivers here itching to go. We have Vincent, Maka, back row, your top three, the Williams, Haas, and Red Bull drivers taking control of the qualifying. And we'll see if they're able to land themselves at the end of this campaign on the top three steps. Yasko, the other Red Bull, will line up on the second row next to his teammate. And of course, we have Grenade 5th. We have Alberto Perez on the grid in 6th, Coffee Sipper 7th, Lavelle's here in 8th, right behind his teammate. Psycho in 9th, with Dunk on You rounding out the top 10 drivers here. And Dunk on You on the medium compound tires. He did qualify in 11th position, if memory serves, as Rutanius took a grid penalty, putting himself into 11th position. He also qualified on the mediums and landed himself in 6th before that penalty came through. Arrow, he is here in the Mercedes. He's opted for softs outside of the top 10. Dirk Chocolate, Linus, JA Games, Damon, and Fubar, all on the mediums. And then it's Alex Bud Moen and 4-door 18 through 20 jumping onto the softs as well, Alex.
Yeah, some different strategies there on the back. The bottom 10. Arrow, Alex Barmo, 1-4-door sedan, going with the normal strategy as the top 9. We have to see there because they can really gain a lot if there's a safety car really early. And of course, the medium runners will have to probably go for hards instead of mediums. But, well, of course, we have to see the timing. And of course, if it happens, that safety car. Otherwise, I think the reverse strategy can really be very good if you can stay on the train. And of course, we have two zones of the, well, two straights of DRS on the main straight and on the run to going down to turn 4. So really, really important the DRS, really important the energy management as well, as we can see the drivers going there to the line.
Oh, this is an intense race. Very, very intense race. I'm nervous. Vincent, Maka, our front row here. It's the Williams versus the Haas off the line. The final driver in 4-door now is coming down the hill to get into position. This is the first race of the week for the Misfits Racing League. We have a lot of Brazilian Grand Prix action this week. Of course, the Tier 2 Americas race, which took place last night, was commentated by Mr. Mikael, the Australian, and that'll be on YouTube after this. But it's time, Alex. It's time to race. We have 4 or 5 red lights on here in Brazil. Vincent, Maka, the front row, a little bit of a timing tower desync. The engines are revving, and we're away racing here. How's the jump off the line for these racers? Back row's looking in early already on the rear of Maka. Vincent's had a rocket launch off the line. Who's that in the Ferrari gone deep? Grenade. He's extremely exposed. He's been tapped. He's been tapped. There's a huge issue. There's a huge issue out of turn 1 and 2 here, and that is Grenade Gorin, Dirk Chocolate, and Rutanius involved. That will spark, well, just a yellow flag. There's debris on circuit, but we are not going to see a VSC or a safety car deployment as a result, and this is going to really shake up the dynamic for them and any other driver that may have been collected in that.
Yeah, I think there was a contact. I mean, first Grenade Goran, I think, was pushed a little bit off track there, tapping the grass there on turn 1. and that really caused him to unsettle the car. And then on the second S, I think there he really had an issue having contact with the Renault, if I'm not mistaken. As Psycho has a big teleport
I
twice,
don't know what happened
jumping
to
from
him.
7th to 15th.
His connection right now is giving him a ton of issue. Linus has gone round, coming through their left-hander, and wow, he is very lucky not to have been taken any damage there. I think everyone was able to get by him. We'll see who comes into the pit lane here. Those will be your big indicators of damage or any kind of issue. Coffee Sipper in the Alfa Romeo has come in. You can see Rutanius, his countryman behind him, has also joined him, and I imagine, well, looks like they might be the only two drivers with damage. This grid's still in a massive train. A lot of drivers still with opportunity to make the best of catching things up. Dirk Chocolate needs to hunt down a second last to four-door, and he's on the medians. This could be a big battle for him.
Yeah, drawn out penalty for Fuller there on the back. Well, yeah, just a P11 will cost him a little bit of time as Moen's just pushing there behind Psycho as well, having some issues there in the beginning.
Looks like we have a major desync here with Lavelle's car, causing blue flags. Vincent right now, I don't believe he's being waved the blue flag, but I can tell you right now, Yasko has apparently been seeing them. Back row as well. We'll see if any more.
Yes, I think this should be restart. Yeah, I think as is the first laps.
Check with the rest of
shuffled.
Fraser's calling it. Yep. All right. So we are going to be restarting this as a result of the desync and the issues coming through turns 1 and 2. Fraser making the call, and we are going to be restarting this. So unfortunate that has happened. These desync issues have been plaguing leagues, esports, and a variety of races, but we're going to get ourselves a restart. Very unfortunate when these situations happen. We try to handle them as best we can, and just thank you so much for everybody and your patience when these things do happen. It's not the first time this season, and well, we don't have too much racing left, but we'll hope it's the last time it's this season that we have this issue.
Yeah, I really hope. We really don't like this to happen. So, well, of course, we'll try to set everything really fast, and of course, we'll be right back. I think in a few moments, racing again on Brazil.
Okay, we're just getting everybody in here set up for this restart now, and we're going to get the custom grid set, of course, and ensure that all these racers, hopefully we have no connection issues. Causing desync. To anyone just coming through here, we are currently going through a restart process as a result of some opening lap incidents due to desync and connection issues. So our current status is we are restarting the session for the race. And it would appear my audio. So give me a moment to address the audio. And we're back. I just had a major issue with my game. Take me from the lobby or something. Again, everyone, thank you so much for your patience, hanging out in the chat. We greatly appreciate all the support of the community and the league. And that's, of course, why we're doing giveaways with our great partners Next Level Racing for awesome sim racing rigs as a thank you to the sim racers supporting all of the league racing and the organized clean racing around. Whether you're on Xbox, consoles, whether it's, you know, PS4, PS5, Xbox, PC, doesn't matter. You can participate. Unicorn, thank you very much for the 6-month resubscription. Greatly appreciate the support. Once it gets going, it will be worth it. And of course, everyone following along to the stream and the Misfits, thank you. I do believe in the process of this restart, stewards were able to address a penalty between qualifying and the race, resulting in retaining is 5-place grid penalty removal. I imagine the Racing Point will be very happy with.
Yeah, I think we should be ready. Yeah.
Should be good to go now. I think all the drivers in. If the grid and the weather are now dialed in, we should be ready to go back to racing.
Ooh, and we're again.
Okay. Here we go. Back to racing. The drivers are readied up. Of course, a reminder to anybody in the stream that may be listening in the race, a reminder to load your setup as we are not coming out of qualifying. We're going straight to racing. And you do not want to be stuck in a grid like this without your ideal car setup. That is to say the least, Alex.
Oh yeah, a track like this, you really need the downforce, and you really don't want to overheat the tires. Something that happens with the default setup. So of course they will have to load that setup, and of course use the same compound as they for the top 10 that they used to qualify there.
Here we go now. Very sunny here in the qualifying. Not qualifying. I would normally be saying the qualifying, but of course we're here awaiting these drivers to get setups dialed in. As it seems someone has already readied up here, or at the very least I'm staring at a desynced countdown. I don't know how it's looking on your end. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yep. I think we're watching the same thing. So
That's interesting. All the drivers on the right hand side, you can see the bar now. Everyone getting their setups together, hopefully. No one going through and hitting that ready. I think everyone's loading setups. Hopefully we have no major desync here. I do not believe we'll see any further restarts as a result of the restart now already having happened.
yeah, I think on the rules it's only one restart, or otherwise it will be postpone the race. I think with another restart, but of course I would like to really
It's been some
confirm that.
time since we've had to draw up those
Ooh, I
articles of the
remember.
rules.
I remember a finale there on Club Division. Do you?
Yeah. Club Division, yeah. I remember we had many issues with a couple races in the previous season. Netherlands Tier 2 springs to mind. I think we had a Tier 1 postponement.
Right, Britain, I think as well. Yeah, Silverstone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think now we're good. And we're reading up now for this formation lap again. Of course, Rutenius, who qualified on P6, had a 5-place penalty, has been removed after the stewards have reviewed the action. So we'll see
Dark
these drivers
chocolate
again.
is at the rear of the grid.
Ooh. Well, he was set to be there. I think he selected the spectator 1 second before, and that messed his place.
Oh.
Because I think he
Well,
selected the
if he
spectator
if
one
he
second
alters
before.
his car in any way or form, he will get reset as a driver.
Yeah. I think that's very unlucky because sometimes it's just a misclick. Something that happens. I think it was set to be starting on P15 around that. 5 places or some he has lost, but still I think he can recover from there.
It is very unfortunate that that happened. It's extremely, extremely unfortunate for Dirk to have done that, or for that bug to have taken place. But I am going to quickly take us through this official starting grid ahead of Tier 3 action, the penultimate round. We will not be seeing another restart as a result of the Dirk Chocolate positioning. He himself has said it. Vincent Nyquist is on pole position. We have Maka lining up on the front row next to him with back row on the rear and third. It's Yasko and the other Red Bull starting on the second row with Grenade in the Ferrari chasing the four front runners down. It's Rutanius getting back into sixth position where he qualified, having his grid penalty removed between the restart. Alberto Perez in seventh, Coffee Sipper eighth. It's Lavella ninth with Psycho in 10th. We look to the Renault. Dunk on You now coming to the grid in 11th. Arrow in 12th. Linus Kektips in 13th position. It's JA Games here in a reserve capacity for Cactus. 14th. Damon is in 15th. 16th for Fubar, Alex, Moen, Fordor, and Dirk. And we have 5 red lights here in Brazil. The engines are revving, and it's time to go around Brazil for Tier 3. We're off. And how's the launch this time around? This time it's much better for back row. Vincent off with another rocket launch as we saw previously before the restart. Things a little bit better for the front end here. At the back of the grid, there's been huge issues.
Oh, there's a safety car already. I have seen, I think, a Ferrari really trying to go off track or something. Linus as well. I think he had a collision and probably damage. But, well, I haven't seen any retirement, any big damage as we saw on the last start. But it's that safety car already for lap 1 on Tier 3.
That is a very interesting predicament here for this Tier 3 division on the penultimate round of racing here in Brazil. A lot of really interesting things happening on the grid today, Alex. So we'll have to see how all of these drivers are able to get up to, well, where they want to go in this grid with all those 5-second time penalties they took. It's going to be a very difficult dynamic with the safety car out now and having all of these drivers needing to come in, switching tires potentially, time penalties served.
I don't know if someone will try to serve that penalty now with the safety car on. That they can do that, of course, but they will change the compound. Probably someone on the back, probably like Linus, who has a penalty already, will probably try to do that. But someone like Macabre can be very risky to try to go with the hearts to the end. I don't think they can go to the end before lap 5. So we'll see right now the top 10 not going into the pits. And it doesn't seem like anyone will try. Linus doesn't have damage, it seems. So it was only me not watching his front wing. Well, Alex Bud has had a mistake, I think, there on the last corner. And probably he will be going to the pits. Yeah, he's going there. He has damage on that front end, it seems, because he's going slowly there into that pit lane.
That is a very unfortunate situation for Alex Bud there. I don't know how he lost that wing. We look at this grid now, a lot of drivers with 5-second time penalties.
Well, he put another set of mediums, trying to stick with the same strategy. J Games and Linus seems like, at least on my tower, he had an exchange. Doesn't see him on track. Now waiting for these drivers to go. It seems like around another time. I think we should have. Well, that's very early. Safety car on this lap.
That's huge, and that's really not played out well for Alex Bud. And I have to say that's one of the earliest safety car call-ins I've ever seen. Hopefully his teammate and him are communicating, because Vincent has the ability to delay this for his teammate. This would be extremely ideal, considering Alex Bud is a stop ahead of the rest of this grid. If he is able to catch up this grid, and he might just be able to do so, it looks like Vincent is holding things straight to the line here, and Alex Bud is going to be carrying a lot of speed. He might be able to get what he needs done into the turn here, but Vincent is away. He's got back row right on the rear of him. We're already green flag racing. Rutanius wheel to wheel with Alberto Perez through turn 1, now through 2. Do we have any contact? Linus Kektips there and Lavelle They're having an exchange, but Rutanius is all over the real Alberto here. Damon, Arrow, there's an exchange there. Moen, he's had an issue. There's a yellow flag. Alex Bud's coming through turns 1 now and 2. Rutanius, what a move.
Yeah, I think Alberto caught him there with the subs, and now Rutanius trying to defend. Oh, Alberto put it really close there on the back of the Racing Points. That's as well tried it on Granite Goran on the run into turn 4, and now J Games as well very close on Damon. He won't try it there. It's very difficult to do that. You really need the good run before that corner, and Dirk retrying a move on Fubar. Sorry, it doesn't seem like he will try it there either. Now really patient.
Fubar right now.
Fubar.
Well, Fubar, he's on the rear of JA. Very tight. Does he have a look up the inside here? He's looking, but he does not pull the trigger, and he needs to move it because he's got Dirk on the rear. There's a massive train forming on the rear of Damon. Damon in 14th position. We saw him in qualifying not having the best time. Vincent, of course, a 1:10.560, the fastest run here. There goes JA. He's looking at Damon on the inside now as we have the run into turn 1. Where is Damon? He's later on the brakes, just ahead of them. Dunk on you. Looking for Arrow. Excuse me, Arrow making it ahead of Dunk on you. Yeah, very nice.
Both Mercedes now working back row. Maka as well. Oh, he's off track, and back row pushing a little bit, but Maka now on the outside. He tried it, but worse, no space there for him. And Damon and J Games having another exchange now on in turn 4 and now turn 5. Damon just ahead on P14, but they probably losing the DRS now with Dunk on you. Damon seems like, well, he doesn't have face right now to hold there with Dunk on you, and right now it seems probably he's compromising a little bit the ones who has behind, but seems like he's closing now the gap as the stream is starting to form again.
Of course, anyone looking at the penalties right now, all of the penalties were awarded due to collisions coming under yellow flag conditions on the opening lap of the race due to a concertina effect. Now, we have trains all over this grid.
Sorry. Maka will try it on the main straight. He's out of DRS there. ERS, sorry, on the main straight. He's in the outside. And low ERS. Now he will try it. Late braking. He's up into P2. And Vincent already 1.3 ahead of the Haas driver. But Maka there. Very good overtake on the Red Bull.
Well, back row. He doesn't like it. And he wants to have another look at Maka here. He goes for the outside. Maka holding well. Nothing doing just yet, but he is on notice. And back row and Maka, they don't want to fight too much here because Vincent's pulling away by a massive margin. Arrow now, Linus.
Some contact between drivers. Linus at least protecting that place, and Duncan Hughes trying it on Arrow as well. They're very close. And who's that? Ooh, Damon almost tried on Duncan Hughes on the inside. The Renault covered the inside, and he's retaining that place. Arrow trying to push with those softs. He really needs to make them work right now in the first stint as Linus is on the mediums. And right now it's costing time. Just look at you can see 2 trains there on the map, and it's one between, well, top 10 and the bottom 10. So right now Arrow really needs to go through that driver to try to catch the other train. Right now a lot of battles happen.
Yeah, huge bottleneck right now in that Haas in 11th position here. We have 2 major trains in formation right now. A lot of moves happening in the rear train. Here comes JA looking at Damon ahead. Linus, Dunk on you on the rear of Arrow. There's a little bit of contact. We have the front row seats from the battle happening behind them. Damon trying to get on the exit. Dunk on you's in his way. JA Games on the power now. He's going to push through into 14th position. Damon right now with the DRS. He doesn't have an answer for this. Dunk on you in 13th position right now. He's looking for the move around the outside of 4. Does he get the move for 12th position here? He goes off wide. Linus holding it with everything he's got right now. Dunk on you. Looking at the outside as we come up the hill. He's going to switch back to the inside. A very nice look up the inside here for the Renault. And there he goes through. And look at the view we have behind the Mercedes of Arrow now. He really, really, really wants to get in there. He wants to... Oh, man. Look at this.
J Games almost tried it, and he's trying it right now on the inside of Damon. We'll see there. Mountain against Albon. We don't want that to repeat again. And Damon having a bit snapped a little bit there on the rears. He's going wide, actually, at least on my screen. Like he has lost the connection.
Arrow is going to love this. Arrow's going to absolutely love this because it has given him some separation now to the medium runners. Nearly 2 seconds the gap. His teammate pushing the pressure.
Lovell now trying the switch back on Psycho. He tried it on turn 1. He was on the outside line. He tried the switch back. Now opening DRS Psycho as well, so it will be very difficult to attack that one. Grenade Goran as well on the back of the Red Bull of back row on 3rd place. Not trying it either. And now Damon and Linus Cactips as well. They're side by side. Linus on the inside will try to defend. Damon on the outside. He's really pushed wide there. The McLaren who's on this side.
JA! He tried to take advantage of an opportunity there. He took a bit too much curbing. Let's take a look at the front end. He does not have damage, just a little bit of temperature, and he'll now need to work himself back into that train. Very fortunate there.
Yes, if he doesn't have damage, but right now he lost a little bit of track there. And of course, positions is down into last place. We will see now because they're on the front as well. They're trying to battle, I think, Zasco trying to get Grenade Goran, actually using that ERS. The ERS as well for Zasco, setting fastest sector 3, improving his lap time on lap 8. Actually impressive. So we will see if he can break that DRS effect and try to overtake Grenade Goran.
Yeah, Grenade right now, he's in the middle of 2 Red Bulls, and it's not good news if you're a Ferrari, especially with Bakro and Yasko. We've seen the team dynamics that come out of them over the course of the season. My mind drifts to wet weather races and strategy calls that they've pulled out, and here comes Lavelle. What's happened now?
Fubar's out.
Fubar's out of this race, and you hate to see it. Fubar, a driver that we were thrilled to see come back. There's a safety car deployment, and it is not what the German wanted in his return to Tier 3 racing. Fubar now, he's out on lap 8. The safety car is deployed, and I imagine a lot of drivers are going to be happy with this, considering I think everyone going to come in now to shave off some 5-second time penalties, save maybe some double stacks. We'll see.
Now the question is which tire you can put there to the end if you're a sub-runner. I don't know if the medium can go there. Probably it's like lap 11 on green flags. Might be very, very tight, so we'll have to see what these drivers with the subs do. But really can be dangerous to go with the mediums to the end. We'll see.
Well, Vincent will be the first driver to give us an indication. The Williams coming into the pit lane at the head of the grid. It'll be 8 laps on the softs for him. He comes in. What's it going to be over down at the end? It's the hards. So we're getting the lead driver onto the hard compound tires, Maka. He is serving his 5-second time penalty, and it will be the mediums for Maka.
Grenade Goran as well with the mediums. A lot of other drivers routines with the hards. Zasco with hards, Bakro with the hards as well. Coffee Sipper with hards, and I think Lovell as well will do the same, but he's double stacking, so he'll be losing time. As I think I saw Moen trying the mediums as well. Now trying to go to the end.
Now, Alex Budd coming in here, or excuse me, not coming in here. There's a couple of reasons he might have done this. Of course, he had already come in. He's onto a different compound. He's onto the mediums. He has a little bit of longevity compared to a lot of the soft runners here, and he's put himself on the rear of his teammate, which is very good. He can play rear gunner, help out Vincent. Now, of course, this could put him on a better strategy at the end, a much faster tire. We'll have to see how he holds. It's going to be very interesting to see. He's the only driver that did not come in under these conditions. But again, as a result of the fact that he was the only driver that stopped previous.
Yeah, and he will try to, well, go for the softs there on the end. Of course, mediums. So mediums he had to do. And now mediums to soft. Of course, he needs to create the gap when when he pits, he's not on last place. He really needs to create the gap with those mediums right now against the hards. And now, well, and after that, after his pit stop, he really will need to push with the softs. And of course, I think the gap between new softs and old hards will be actually, well, probably even 2 seconds per lap. I don't know, probably 1.5. But we will have to see the pace of Alex Budd, and well, he really needs probably a safety car at the end as well to help him. But I don't see like it's a major disaster for him. I think actually it can be another opportunity.
Everyone now having come in, everyone onto a different set of tires. Now the entirety of this grid is going to get compacted into a nice, neat train. We had some separation in the train earlier. Some difference in strategy, some difference in pace, of course. We'll have to see how things pan out now on this restart. I do believe we'll be back to green flag racing on lap 11. If you're just tuning in, my name's Strifium here from Canada. Joining me all the way from Spain is Mr. Alex Bitto, and we're here for the penultimate round of Season 4 MRL. It is Brazil! Exclamation giveaway in the chat. You can win yourself a racing rig from our great partners, Next Level Racing. And what a finale to the season it has been for a lot of the grids as we come through into the penultimate round, and Tier 3 has really set a high bar for intensity this week already, Alex.
Yeah, it's really. I think normally happens that tier three races, sorry, always really, really, um, say, action packed, and I think it's happening again. So safety cars already. Safety car will be on this lap, and of course we'll have a difference of strategy. 4 drivers there with the mediums that they will try to do something different, but of course as well trying to go to the end. That's I think the first and main objective for them.
Vincent will be the person leading us away on this restart here. His teammate Alex Budd behind him. And here we go. When is it going to be time for that driver to slam it down? They're going straight to the line here. Vincent's gone. Alex Budd, he is away, and here comes back row immediately up the inside of the Williams. Alex Budd trying to hold there. Alex Budd.
Oh, Vincent is off.
Oh, Vincent has gone off. This is huge, and Grenade's gone into someone as well as a result, and Alex Budd is in the second position of this race. Back row is away. Oh
Tasco side by
my.
side with the Renault of Alberto Perez on the inside of turn 4. They're side by side with Psycho, who's on the outside line, and he will take that place. But now Zasco trying to come back.
Rutanius is here as well. Oh my, the racing here. There's been a huge contact. I didn't have the frontal view, but this has been massive, and there is a massive, massive incident. There's been a Haas gone into Zasco.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I think Zasco touched that Renault, and they spawned both, and they were on the middle of the track, and that happened afterwards. And I think that's a very, very tight corner to happen that. And of course, you can see the Constantino effect there. And back row at the moment just, going away with Alex Budd and Grenade Goran. I think you said he had damage, but we don't know still. This is still very, very tight, and some driver with damage. Others struggling to go to the end, trying to pit. Now who's that? Is Psycho trying the move as well on Zasco, who has damage, I think, on that front end. Lovell seems that he has a clean front, and he will take that place from Zasco. But it's very, very intense. Vincent after that spin going into the pits. Duncan, you as well. Alberto Perez for the sedan. That's been a disaster for the Renault.
This race has been very, very, very dynamic and unique. This has been a very interesting one, to say the least. Look at Arrow now. Moen with the switchback says goodbye for now. Arrow,
yeah,
what a battle. Holy, these two. Moen takes a penalty.
Oh.
A little bit of a tap. Damon on the rear.
Yeah, they're side by side still. Moen trying to utilize those mediums in the best way possible. Now trying on the inside of turn 10 on 11. Arrow still on the best line there to exit. A little bit of contact there. Arrow, I think he had a little bit of snap there, and Moen touched that wheel. Damon really close in the braking zone on Moen, both having a snap. They're struggling a little bit there, probably on the temps. Now trying to catch Alex Budd, staying on DRS of back row as DRS is enabled, I think.
Oh, look at this, so tight between Moen and Damon. Damon just takes the inside close to the pit lane. Here goes Moen on the rear of him, trying to get the switchback done like we saw with Arrow. Nothing doing, Damon's through.
Damon through on P8, his teammate on P6, which might be a net P4, as Coffee Saber has a penalty and Alex Budd still has to pit. So from last place, that's a very, very good effort for both McLarens who started on the back of this race.
Here's a lunge out of Lavelle. Psycho defending. It's not enough for him. Lavelle gets it through on the inside. Psycho pushing with the battery, looking to the inside as we come back up the hill.
Ooh, Psycho really going wide, and he takes a penalty. Moen and Linus on side-by-side action on turn 11. A little bit of contact between wheels. Medium versus hard. Linus really going wide there to not have contact. Got breaking all the boards of the breaking points. Now Linus utilizing that DRS on the outside. Oh yes, he will try it. He will try it. He will try it. There is really ahead. He has the DRS. I don't know if he's utilizing that. Yes, now he is. It's up into P9. Moen has a penalty as well. I think he got it on the battle with Arrow, as Arrow takes a place on Dark Chocolate up into P6. The Spaniard goes a little bit of a snap there on the exit of turn 3, and Dirk was really close. Green Edgar and Rutenius as well having an exchange. Rutenius up into podium places, and Alex Bud still has to pit, so Rutenius might be on a net P2. Aaron Dark Chocolate side by side still P4, sorry, on turn 4, battling for that P6. The McLaren is just ahead right now.
We have tons of battling here in Brazil, and this is what you love to see around any kind of racing circuit. There's just tons of wheel-to-wheel, tons of intensity and pressure being applied all over the circuit. We're definitely getting our fill of that right now in this Tier 3 division after we've had 2 safety cars in a very wild dynamic in this race.
We're strolling on the rear there, and Damon is just closing that gap. Both McLaren attacking that Mercedes. Just look at Damon. He's just really just trying to go for a gap there against the Spaniard, but we'll jump ahead because Rutines will take that P2 from Alex Bad there on the inside of the main straight. The braking point, he will be just ahead. More battery as well for Rutines, and Green Goran will be closing that gap. Damon and Arrow as well, side by side. Damon just ahead, following his teammate. 6-7 right now for the McLarens.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that, considering how the qualifying went for them. You can see the position changes for the pair of them. 14 positions gained for Dirk Chocolate, despite having his grid position mixed up. We'll call it an engine penalty. I don't know. He hasn't seemed too phased by this, considering 14 positions gained for him. Alex Budd's also made up 14 positions, given he is on older tires at the moment, and Damon's made up 8. Very solid for the McLaren so far.
Vincent setting fastest lap after his mistake there on the restart, spinning on the exit of turn 1, trying to recover right now. Some P16 new mediums as well. He needed to try something different after that mistake, and I think he's trying his best.
Things are a little bit at a level of comfort, I think, for some of these drivers. Whereas some other drivers right now are pushing to get themselves back into the equation. Of course, you have a variety of drivers on fresher rubber right now, 14th position down through 19th, getting collected in a multitude of dynamic situations, to say the least, in this race. Dark Chocolate and Damon right now. Arrow just behind them has taken a 3-second time penalty. Damon is showing great pace on the rear of his teammate. I don't even know. We might see a move here between the two McLarens. Let's see if team orders come through.
He was utilizing that overtake button, probably trying a move or just sticking there into that slipstream and DRS on his teammate. But yeah, it seems like he has more pace, or at least probably Dirk is not. Well, you can see there on the percent of ERS used. He's not using that much, so probably that can be a difference as Arrow is closing the gap, but losing the rear again. Mercedes a little bit. They're shaky on the rear end, as I said before, but still on that DRS window, which I think is an important thing.
Acro Rutanius have engaged in somewhat of a long-distance battle now, as there is a margin of less than a second, giving Rutanius the DRS option on the rear wing, and this is going to give him a very good opportunity to catch up with that Red Bull, as Backrow will not have that same opportunity. Grenade on the rear of Alex, but is doing just the same.
Yeah, not only to close the gap to Backrow, but to close the gap and save energy. He was struggling a little bit as Grenade Goran right now with a lot of battery. He will try it there on the inside, easy as you like, ahead on the braking point, and he is just up into P3. But Alex Bad really close on the exit, and he will try it probably on turn 5. Nope, Grenade Goran was there closing the door, and he is now into the podium, but still needs to take those mediums to the end, which I think it will be a very difficult task for the Ferrari.
Couple of trains here, a couple of small form battles unfolding. Of course, the fight for 5th position right now has a bit of a tail to it. Coffee Sipper, Dirk Chocolate, Damon, and Arrow all within it right now. And of course, Arrow and Coffee Sipper have 3-second time penalties, as does Moen and Psycho.
Alex Bad now, I think he needs to really stay there on DRS. It's very important for him. And well, he's utilizing that battery to do that exactly, to stay there as Rutinius is really close. Yeah, we're talking about Alex Bad's strategy. I think he really needs to stay there because he's gaining time. He really needs to not lose any time with these drivers who seems like they are faster than him at the moment with those old tires. And then after that, he will be putting those subs, and well, he will be flying last stint. So he really needs to manage this stint and well, make consistent times as well before the pit stop and then push.
Well, 15 laps on the mediums, turning to 16 laps shortly here. We'll have to see what his strategy call is and when he decides to come
Moen
in.
is around.
Uh-oh.
Oh, oof. And his contact with J Games. They have both spun. J Games holding the brakes there perfectly to not hit Lovell and Psycho. But Moen, I think he tried the inside on Linus on turn 5. He spun around and J Games was not able to avoid that contact. They both have damage, I think, there, the Mercedes and the Racing Point.
That is very unfortunate when those incidents unfold. Of course, we've seen a variety of them in this race where these incidents have cost drivers. JA Games in 12th position presently. We'll see what happens as a result of that contact as Damon Dirk Chocolate still on the rear of Coffee Sipper. We look ahead. Rutanius has not yet been able to pull the trigger on back row. Back row with a ton of battery in reserve in comparison to Rutanius.
Trying the instant on turn 1. Damon really protecting that one. Very good racing between both of them. Arrow will try again. Now on the exit of turn 3, both utilizing that energy and DRS, but Damon will hold right now on P7. Dirk, otherwise, doing the opposite of these two, as he's really saving that energy in a really good shape.
Lavelle now Psycho on his rear hunting. He wants that final points position, the AlphaTauri versus the Alfa Romeo. JA Games has come out of the pit lane. What's happened?
Alex Buddy's off.
No. Not sure what's happened to the Williams, but of course his tires now reaching the point of serious wear, I would say. Ooh, yeah, he's feeling it in that car right now. I don't believe he has wing damage. He has Linus coming up the rear of him. No wing damage for Alex.
Oh, and Damon had a mistake. Oh, Psycho as well. He's around, I think. Yeah, he's around on the exit of turn 11, but Damon had a mistake on the braking point of Junkawa, and Arrow will try the move there on the main straight. He's side by side. Now on the inside of turn 1, it seems like an easy move for Arrow. Braking really late, losing a little bit the braking point, and that will compromise the exit there. And the switchback will be tried by Damon. A little bit of contact there on the exit of turn 3. Now side by side, almost opening DRS. Arrow, I don't know if he has that DRS to protect, and Damon doing the switchback perfectly. Now up into P6 following his teammate, but he has lost a little bit of time. Arrow on the inside of turn 4 there, side by side, there's contact. Arrow saved it though. Oh, that was close.
Alex Budd on his way into the pit lane there. An unfortunate situation for him as he took a 5-second penalty on his way in. Very unfortunate considering the position he was in. I think maybe had he gone in for another set of mediums, if he had them available, it could have been good for him. I don't know what tires he started on. It might have been mediums now that I think about it. So he's onto the softs. That's going to be a very hard stint.
16 laps on those, well, 17 I think, on those softs. He will try to manage to go to the end and keep the...
Oh, Moen! Moen! I don't know what happened to Moen here, but he had just dropped all control of this car into the wall. He's gone. And I have no idea what to say.
Oh, but meanwhile, Coffee Sipper and Dark Chocolate, sorry there to interrupt, but they're having an exchange there on turn 1. Dark Chocolate just ahead, but now the DRS for Coffee Sipper, the reserve driver, will take that place again. And it's P4 again for the Dutch driver. Dark very close. And I still don't know what happened to Moen. Moen is there on last place. Just, I think, stationary. No, not stationary, but really slow.
Maybe a controller disconnect of some capacity. Input method, I'm not entirely sure. Coffee Sipper, Dirk Chocolate, this battle right now unfolding well as Dirk Chocolate trying to find that traction coming out of the hairpin.
Yeah, now Dark Chocolate will try it. I don't know if he will try it again now. He really needs it. And now another yellow flag, and that's Psycho having another issue. Down into P18, spinning on turn 3, as Virginius is still very close with back row, but not trying to move. Dark will try it though on the inside. Oh, but he has learned from the last lap. He doesn't want to overtake now. He wants it on the exit of turn 3, and we'll see if he has the exit. Coffee Sipper, a big slide there on turn 2. Now Dark Chocolate with DRS. A little bit of energy, but it seems like he thought it's not enough there to have the run into turn 4. But he tried it, and well, he made his rival waste a little bit of energy as Coffee Sipper goes a little bit wide, but carrying a lot of speed. Probably Dark a little bit conservative there on the apex of 4 and 5.
Yeah, Dark Chocolate hunting down Coffee Sipper, Rutanius on the rear back row. Rutanius now has really built up his battery to maybe take some opportunities in the final stages of this race to take a crack at the Red Bull driver ahead of him, as he hasn't been able to do anything with him yet. Alberto Perez and Yasko into the pit lane now. They're getting off their softs. Alberto to the mediums, Yasko to another set of softs.
Rutanius, close, not enough, seems. Still saving energy. He was below 10 when I said that, as I could recharge on the pits after having a couple of mistakes there. Oh, Zasko rejoining the pits just between background Rutanius. Now he pulls up. But yeah, Rutanius saving a lot of energy, and I think he's trying to prepare some attack there to the Red Bull.
Alex Budd, 3.5 seconds on the rear of his teammate Vincent right now. Of course, he's on the fresh softs. He does have 5 seconds as a result of speeding, but I think the Williams driver, despite a very up and down dynamic race, may even have an opportunity to get points here, considering the fact that the drivers ahead of him may slow down significantly. Again, however, those softs are going to be hard to drive near the end of this race. So there's a lot of strategy dynamic that's unfolding in the middle of this grid between the two Williams and the harder compound runners right now.
Well, this is a, let's say, unique situation. Oh, Alberto Perez is off now. I was on board with Jasko, and Alberto just lost it on the last traction zone of that track. Now trying to let everyone by. He was on P17. Well, and I think that's probably a retirement for him on the pit lane. But we'll see now. Their chocolate is still very close, but they have been like this a lot of laps. I don't know if he will try it on the exit of turn 3. We'll see.
Tanius as well on back row, nothing doing just yet. Coming to the end of the DRS straight here, Dirk Chocolate with a supercharged exit. I think he's going to take an opportunity here on the Alfa Romeo down the outside. The McLaren's going to shoot into turn 4 a little bit later on the brakes. No, Coffee Sippers later, and he's going to hold that on the inside.
Very good defense. Coffee Sipper is showing here against both McLarens. Not only that, but I was going to say about the unique situation before the spin of Alberto Perez, that Jasko is just behind Rutanius with new softs against 14 lap old hard, and he's trying to unlap himself. We'll see how hard he's trying to unlap himself, and if that will affect the
very
race for
hard
the lead.
Look at this.
There we go, utilizing that energy, that DRS, and he will try to be ahead not only of Rutanius, but I guess his teammate, and probably give DRS to his teammate. So we will see how this works, but Rutanius is now very close on back row as Green 8 Goran goes into the pits. Those mediums not able to go to the end. He know that. He pitted 11 laps before the end of this race to put a new stint of soft, I would guess.
Arrow, Dirk, Damon. Huge exchanges as we come into turn 1. Damon getting through on his teammate. Dirk Chocolate's had an issue as a result of Arrow maximizing the opportunity to dispatch a McLaren. He's dispatched Dirk. It's Damon's turn to have a crack at the Alfa Romeo. Dirk was unsuccessful. Damon says, let me have a try.
Yeah, Lowell. Oh, Linus is around as well on turn 4. I think contact with Lowell probably, because they had an exchange. That's, well, the only thing I can guess. But another exchange is Alex Butt and Green 8 Goran, as Green 8 just rejoins after pitting behind Alex Butt. So that's a big undercut from Alex, who I think was just behind before pitting, but with 4 lap older softs. So we'll have to see at the end how this pays off. But right now it seems a very good point for Alex, but he has a penalty, so we'll have to see later. Damon having a better exit than Coffee Sipper into the run into the main straight.
Well, we saw Dirk unable to dispatch the Alfa Romeo. Here comes his teammate now. Maybe a little bit of a late move there from Damon. Could have done it a little bit earlier, avoided a little bit of a brush here. We've seen Coffee Sipper defend from Dirk here, and now we're seeing him defend from Damon. Damon with a snap, compromising his exit 3 out of 3 now. We're going to have another run.
Side by side on turn 1, not on turn 4. A little bit of contact they had. Damon had to save the car almost there from a spin. Still, he keeps it on track. He has a penalty. I didn't notice that. He has a penalty. Probably that's why McLaren, the drivers, just so Damon can pull off and try to create that 3-second gap. Right now into P4 with 3 seconds as Green 8 Goran Alex, but had an exchange on the run turn 4, and he jumps into the points position.
If Dirk Chocolate wants a podium here, He needs to lock onto this train in front of him with these penalties and stick with that third position runner in Coffee Sipper. Coffee Sipper 9.3 seconds on the rear of Rutanius in second position. Rutanius fighting back row all race long at the moment, it would seem, for that lead and potential win. And here we have it now. Arrow on the rear of Damon. Damon on the rear of Coffee Sipper. Nothing doing between the three of them. Dirk Chocolate 1.6 on the rear of these three is not where he wants to be, as these drivers all have the 3 seconds. He could net serious position if he got inside that gap.
Vincent on Linus. The main straight. Oof.
Oh, that's cost Linus.
That was really close.
That's cost Linus huge, and well,
it was really, really close. So at least he compromised his exit. Sorry, his entry, rather than hitting the back of Vincent. So I would say very good reflex for him. And Grandy will try it there. Yeah, he's really close, but not enough. But he still is on the sub, so he'll probably try it on sector 2. We'll see now. Oh, just look at the exit out of turn 5. Now side by side going into turn 6. On the outside he will try it, and that's a very beautiful move from the Ferrari up into P9. Linus losing another place, and there you go. Grenade really pushing on that last end.
Very good stuff there. Linus falling out now from him, dropping into the clutches of the other Williams driver in Alex Budd. Coffee Sipper Damon. Damon exchanges for third now, and he gets it in there with the McLaren.
Whoa.
Arrow on the rear.
Well, he tried to maximize probably too much. Coffee Sipper already really ahead there and really wants that exit right now. Look at Damon and Coffee Sipper. Coffee Sipper on the inside of turn 4. Damon leaving the space. A little bit of understeer for Alfa Romeo. They're contact, but not enough to make him spin. Right now he will keep that P4. I think it's the first time Coffee Sipper is not leading out of turn 4. So we'll see how this plays out then, because
Alex Budd's had an issue coming out of turns 1 and 2 here. He's had a spin, it would seem. Contact, maybe, I don't know, but I can tell you for certain the front left missing a good chunk of, well, good chunk of the wing there.
Yeah, damage, yeah. A lot of damage that will cause the point surely. He was there, I think, on P11 trying it, but doesn't seem like it will be enough, as we have an exchange. I think Zasco for their sedan. Well, really close there, battling for 15th place.
Rutanius back row into turn 1, nothing doing just yet. It was tight. Arrow now on the rear of Coffee Sipper for 4th position. Penalties between these two, so it is going to be a serious position gain here for either driver in this case. And here's a snap for Coffee Sipper. Arrow's taken 4th.
And 3 seconds for Damon, so that's probably a place for Arrow if he doesn't get any more penalties on these 7 laps to go. Coffee Sipper on the inside, he will try it. Well, yeah, that's, I think, a big mistake. As you can see, it was very late, and not having contact with Dirk Chocolate, who just goes around, and well, Coffee Sipper lost a lot of time there, almost 3 seconds, I think, from that exchange.
This is absolutely great for Dirk Chocolate now, having that Alfa Romeo behind him. Nearly 2 seconds as well. This will give him a little bit of a better opportunity at a podium here, considering his teammates holding on to it. Realistically, at one point, if Damon drops the anchor, Dirk's right there to catch that position. Arrow doesn't have anything he can do about it. Dirk right now needs to get in there and hold himself out of penalties. Rutanius again pushing the Red Bull. Not a lot of battery utilization coming out of either driver right now. Still both sitting well above 50%. But now Rutanius, we might see it. We might see it here. It's tight. Right behind, an exchange between teammates as Lavelle and Coffee Sipper move ahead. Lavelle for 6th. .30 laps have been driven here so far. What a race it's been. A little bit of frustration, lobby technical difficulties, and things of a sort.
Roger, we're conserving that battery right now. 70% for him, 50 for his rival, opening DRS. Not energy though, but he's really close, and I think he was gonna try it.
Here comes Rutanius on the outside of back row now. Fronts to rears for the racing point.
He's very close. He's very close on the outside, on the exit of turn 3. But he won't try it again. He won't try. He's really waiting for those last laps. Well, and the time is running out for him.
Solid fight right now for lead and win of this race between the Red Bull and Racing Point back row Rutanius within half a second, and they have been for some time. Dark Chocolate well within a second of Arrow, 3 seconds for the Mercedes, and as he is in DRS range, he'll have an opportunity to potentially push into turns 1 and 4. Maka into the pit lane now from the Haas camp. We going on to some fresh softs, I imagine, and he does.
Martinez is trying to just make back row waste energy there. He's not using it right now, and we'll see how this will be on the end. But at the moment, really close, and I don't know where he's gonna try to overtake.
I think the best place to do it would be turn 4, honestly.
I really don't know. Well, I mean, yes, because back row won't have the DRS there, but you can make back row compromise his exit of turn 3, and then you will be sure to be ahead on turn 4. I think that can be a thing. Just overtake on the main straight, and then just protecting and defending on the S's of Senna, and then having that move on turn 4, or sorry, before turn 4.
Grenade, Vincent exchanging now the soft runner into 8th position. Vincent on these very old mediums has had a snap coming out of that turn, and he's really starting to feel them on lap 32.
Well, Rutanius for the move there for P1 there on the inside.
Very neat move there with the DRS, and I thought he was going to do it into turn 4 when he had the opportunity. We've seen now the move into turn 1. Look at the DRS now. This is back row looking for a switchback. Three-second time penalties coming through the grid now for a variety of drivers, and I have to tell you, one of the drivers to take one of those penalties was Dark Chocolate, who has really begun to struggle here. Overall, though, he's had a very good drive, making up a massive amount of position in this race. Arrow right now, I imagine not wanting to drop a position here, as it has become not a fight between two penalties, but a straight up fight on circuit. Dark Chocolate does not want to drop a position to Lavelle either. Back row.
Yeah, but right now, Arrow might be losing that place to Lovell. He's really tight. It's 0.8 to Dirk and 2.2 from Dirk to Lovell, so that might be around 3 seconds, and Arrow probably can lose that place going down to P6. It will be very tight right now, 2 laps and a sector to go.
According to Fraser right now, Lavelle's looking to take home a potential P3 given the penalty situation for the 3 drivers ahead of him. Of course, Damon's holding on to 6 seconds, not 3.
This is gonna, well, this is coming down a little bit, but at the same time, we have back row really putting pressure on Rutanius, as well, very close now on lap 35, 2 laps to go, and Dark Chocolate as well, 0.9 behind Arrow. But I think the most important thing there is Lovell, who is around those 2 seconds to Arrow. He really needs to close that gap to Arrow so he can take both places, and Damon as well, who has 6 seconds of penalty. So we'll have to see at the end, because anything is decided yet, and Lovell, I think he can take a podium, and that, well, I will be very happy with that. I think it's been a long time since he went there on the podium. I think he has been deserving some races right now. Lovell still pushing. He's low on battery because he really needs to push everything he got on this tank and trying, of course, to go to the end. One lap and one sector to go, and it is getting tense. It is really getting tense right now.
We're about to enter into the final lap of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, my name's Stryfium. Joining me for all of this action has been Alex, Bitto, and it's Rutanius and Backrow having a duel. And right now, Rutanius in lead of things. Here comes the DRS for the Red Bull. Not a lot of battery and utilization at present. Of course, he was derated before the line, but now he'll have a full utilization opportunity here. 50 near percent for the Red Bull as we come out of the CEST. Not the best exit. He needs to use a lot of battery here. The DRS is going to be what carries him the most.
He needs to conserve to the end, and Rutanius still has a lot of battery, half of that battery to be utilized, but he's low on fuel. Oh,
Lavelle, no! And this has really stung for the Alfa Romeos, I have to tell you now.
Why did we mention this? I know it was gonna happen, something like that. It's always the commentator curse, and right now Backrow will try it on Rutanius. He's still very close. He really needs to be close on Junkao to try it on traction to the line.
All or nothing here for the Red Bull. All or nothing here for the Red Bull versus Rutanius, the Dutch driver, now the championship winner already, of course, as it's now coming out down the straight. Rutanius.
No contest.
No contest here. He is going to win this. Rutanius takes the checkered flag here in Brazil with Backrow to collect a podium behind him, and it will be Damon with 6 seconds in penalties coming down the hill to cross potentially third here. Arrow within range. He will take a P3 and Dirk will jump his teammate. And we're going to be talking to Rutanius, Backrow, and Arrow in just a few moments. But what a thrilling race this was. Coffee Sipper and Grenade exchange at the line. Grenade got him there. I think there might have been a penalty at play as well, but it was a tight race down to the line between the pair of them.
Dark Chocolate from last place to P4. Damon as well there on the back to P5. Lovell retains that P6. And Arrow, I think he is the first podium for him on this season.
I can't recall if he had any early day podiums. He may just have.
I think it's the second podium for Mercedes on Tier 3. I think it was Cactus on Baku on that, I think, rainy day. And Arrow right now, I think, is the second podium for Mercedes on Tier 3. And I have to say it's not only one Spaniard will be happy there.
Definitely not. And of course, who'd have thought otherwise? This man right here, Dirk Chocolate, driver of the day from 20th position to, well, 4th in this one. And he had a very, very good drive here. Not able to secure that 3rd place near the end, but it was just a solid drive from him. And we'll head on over his way, I imagine, in a few moments after some interviews. But there it is, Rutanius with a very, very well-deserved win here. A very solid drive after he started in 6th position after the removal of a grid penalty. And we'll have to see how things come for the finale in Abu Dhabi. But there you have it. Once again, the classification, Rutanius, Backrow, and Arrow, your top 3 here. Not one of them. Well, Arrow started in 12th, but of course Rutanius started in 6th, and Backrow started, well, 1 place back from where he landed. So all things considered, a good day for the Red Bull. And a great day for the McLarens, all things said and done. Damon there, 15th to 5th, and Dirk, of course, driver of the day. Lavelle, he moved from 9th to 6th. Grenade dropped back a couple places. Coffee Sipper remained in 8th. Vincent dropping back 8 positions in the Williams. And Linus securing a point for Haas today.
First time.
Yeah, he's secured a point. He was full-time for Ferrari, but he's back in reserve capacity. He's gone from 13th to 10th, getting a point. Very nicely done from him. We had Dunk on You, JA, as well as Maka, Yasko, 4-door, Alex, Bud, Moen, Alberto Perez, Psycho, and Fubar. It was very unfortunate to see Fubar out of this one, but it was great to see him back racing, and I just want to give a quick shout-out to Mr. Alex Bud. A very, very difficult race for him. All things said and considered, we saw a couple of spins maybe. We haven't seen the full extent of what happened, but I know I was personally rooting for him to get a point today, and I think he might have had an opportunity considering where Grenade finished. They're on very similar strategies. But of course, there is one round left of Tier 3 racing, and that will be next time right here, same place, same time. Abu Dhabi next week. it's time to head on over into some interviews. All right. Joining us now for an interview, it is the Mercedes driver, Arrow. What a drive from you, sir. Congratulations. How are you feeling after Brazil?
Well, I started P15 and ended in the podium. It's fucking amazing, so oh my god.
Very, very good race.
It was all on strategy, because on the first safety car I was going to put mediums, but finally I decided to put hard zone, so it was all on there. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Alex, do you have any questions for Arrow while we're here?
I know it has been a very tough season for Mercedes on Tier 3, and I think he got what he deserved. Always fighting for that top 5. He's always been there on pace, and well, now securing that podium, I think, well, as we can see, he's really, really, really happy.
Yeah.
Next week,
Oh my
Abu Dhabi, the final race of the season, coming off of a podium. How are you going to be feeling for the final round of action?
Well, I'm going to be so motivated because, as you said, it's the final race, so I'm going to do my best and try to get the best result I can. So, see you on Abu Dhabi.
Well, congratulations. Do you have any messages for the viewers before we head on over to the next interview?
Yeah, thank you to the whole MRL community. You are all amazing. And for the Spanish viewers, ¡vamos! ¡Vamos! ¡Joder, por fin!
Congratulations, Arrow. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank
Maybe
you,
we'll
guys.
see you again here
Thank you.
soon.
I hope so.
All right, take care. That was Arrow, ladies and gentlemen, of course, our third place finisher in this race. Now joining us, it is going to be Back Row. What a race today, Back Row. You started this race in third. Second place is where it landed for you. You had a very, very pressurized race holding off Rutanius. How did it feel finishing this one?
You know what? Going into this race, the whole plan was get on the podium, Maka doesn't get points. And what do you know?
Well, that is a plan. Well, that has come through, hasn't it? You are now on second, Maka no points, and you have mission accomplished. How are you feeling about the race overall and looking to Abu Dhabi next week? Of course, we had a little bit of drama in this, some crashes, some safety cars.
I mean, the race was, on my side, after like the first 10 laps, kind of bland. Like, it was just Rutanius happy to sit behind me. You know, Alberto spun himself out. Maka did something. I wasn't really fighting anyone until Rutanius right at the end.
It was a wild, wild campaign. Abu Dhabi, a very different circuit to Brazil. Is it a circuit you enjoy, or is it a circuit you're not very much looking forward to?
I didn't enjoy it 3 months ago, but I've started to kind of switch my feelings to it.
Alex, any questions for Back Row before we head on to speak with our race winner?
I think there was an amazing managed race with the ERS very difficult to really manage, and he got it there, and not utilizing that much, even having the leader of the championship there, the winner actually behind, and I think that the pace was amazing there, and he held it there on P1 till Rutanius just deployed everything. So big congratulations for you.
Yep, thank you very much, and congrats to Rutanius for winning that one.
Yeah, it was a very, very hard-fought race, and congratulations again to you as well, Back Row. We'll hope to see you here for another interview in the finale through Abu Dhabi next week.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, and that was Back Row, of course. Now joining us, a driver we've talked to quite a bit this season. It is, of course, your Tier 3 champion, reigning champion as it stands. It is the Dutch driver, the Racing Point driver, Mr. Rutanius. How are you doing?
Hello there. I'm doing amazing. I did not expect to end up here after the first couple of laps today.
Alex.
So
sorry, I was
Sorry, sorry.
A little bit of confusion there. No, that's okay. Rutanius, the race today, you started, well, qualifying a little bit up and down for you today. You started in 6th position. It was going to be a grid penalty. Well, unfortunately, we had a restart. This came through with a silver lining for you, given you got to have that penalty reviewed in the meantime by the stewards. So given that you were able to get that reviewed, start in P6, how does it feel to go from potentially starting in P11, or well, 6th, back to 11th, back to 6th, and then come here to take a win? Because this race was extremely dynamic. We had multiple safety cars. We had a couple of very, very large midfield collisions on those restarts as well. I imagine when anyone watches this race back, there's going to be some concern as to why there wasn't maybe more yellows brought up. But of course, it was just a very dynamic day. And for you to come through here, yeah, of course, championship driver. But man, what a drive that must have been to push, and of course hunt down back row for a good chunk of it as well.
Yeah, so I'll talk through it a little bit. What happened in the qualification is I spun out, and Alex was letting me by on my hat lap in the grass section next to the track, and that's exactly where I spun out. This was in the last 20 seconds of the qualifying, so it didn't impact his qualifying. But it did give me a 5-place grid penalty because the game sees it as a contact. Fortunately for us, it gave us the time to show it to the stewards, and the stewards agreed that it was to be removed, and that really helped me with the restart. So that's one case of bad luck turning into good luck. Straight after that, we had the safety car, and the plan was to go into the pits to pit to hard, but unfortunately, as soon as the safety car came out this race, I had a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Coffee Sipper because we were so close to the grid, and we couldn't separate us that quick from when the safety car popped up. So I was held 5 seconds in the pit lane, and then I was held by the double stack of the Alfa Romeos in front of me. This was a pit stop time of about 28 seconds. And I dropped down to P11. Then as soon as the safety car restarted, there was a lot of action going on. It was crazy. Overtakes left and right, people crashed. And then we were 3 wide, I believe, through the tight section there. And there was a collision next to me. And I picked a position where I thought nobody would slide to if anything would happen. And I chose the right position, and I got really lucky. And then I heard from my race engineer that back row was the one ahead of me I needed to catch and beat today. So we really managed the battery and the fuel today. We were behind him for a couple of laps with not the intent to overtake him. And we just planned on overtaking him on lap 32 today. Exactly lap 32. And 2 laps prior to that, we pressured him a little bit, causing him to use some ERS, which was beneficial for me because I had the DRS there. And then we finally got past, and we used the battery to gap him, and that's how I done it today.
What a race, and what a breakdown, and I greatly appreciate you giving us the run through. Very, very, very analytical, and of course, I have to say your recap on that was superb. I imagine everyone saw this race and wondered, wow, what just an amazing drive, or said it at the very least, an amazing drive. That's it for the time we have, though, Rutanius, and I just want to say congratulations again on another race win to add to your CV, if you will. And of course, season 5 is coming soon, but we do have one more round, Abu Dhabi. What is the call for you next week in Abu Dhabi? What's the plan?
Previous season here with the endurance race, I felt quite confident in Abu Dhabi. I had quite some good pace, but nowadays I've changed some settings on how I basically use the car, so it's a lot different as to when I was there previous season in the endurance. So I probably stepped a lot ahead in performance, and well, I like the circuit. I like it. It's an enjoyable track to race on. So let's see where that brings me.
Well, good luck to you, Rutanius, and again, congratulations. Thank you so much for the breakdown and taking the time to interview, and we'll see you next week for racing.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the Tier 3 Brazilian GP coverage, of course, for MRL Season 4. We have one more round for the Tier 3 action next week. That's Abu Dhabi. Tonight, We have a ton more racing to come to you in just 4 minutes time. That's right, just 4 minutes time on the YouTube channel, exclamation YouTube in the chat. We do have the America's Tier 2 race premiering, which was recorded and broadcast by Mikal yesterday evening. So all of the drivers that partook in that, and of course anyone looking to view along, can head on over and check that out on the YouTube channel. This evening, back here on Twitch, we have the America's Tier 1 division, where Mikal will again be taking to the commentary with Seb from the Land Down Under. And I will personally be driving in that, hoping to take some points. But that will be it for my time here with Mr. Alex Biddo. We hope you all enjoyed, and of course, last but not least, make sure you check out the giveaway, exclamation giveaway in the chat. We are giving away a racing rig with our great partners, Next Level Racing, exclamation giveaway, and get yourself entered in that. It's going to be a great, great time. That's it for Tier 3, and we will see you later, but not before we hit you with the outro and a great raid for a great member of the community. You need to wish Mr. Dirk Chocolate an amazing race today, because he went from 20th position all the way up the grid, and he got driver of the day. So let's go and say hello. Thanks a lot, everyone. My name is Strifium, and again, joining me was Alex Biddo from Spain.